When starting a business, there are several avenues an entrepreneur can take. The first avenue is they can start a sole proprietorship. The second avenue is they can start some sort of partnership. And the third avenue is they can start some sort of separate legal entity, such as an LLC or a corporation. Now, the question arises, where does a DBA fall into all of this? The answer is a DBA applies to all of the above. In today's video, I am going to talk about what a DBA is and how to properly use one. Hi, my name is Andrew. I'm the managing attorney here at Freedom Through Business, where we help entrepreneurs just like you start your businesses, grow your businesses while staying compliant. The purpose of these videos are to provide you with as much clarity and guidance in the beginning stages of starting a business. So if you haven't already, please make sure you hit the like, subscribe, as well as the bell notification so you don't miss out on any future videos. These videos are for educational purposes only, and so make sure you speak with a professional prior to doing anything. And so with that side note out of the way, let's go ahead and talk about what is a DBA and how to properly use a DBA. A DBA stands for doing business as. It's also referred to as a fictitious business name. Now, when is an entrepreneur most likely to use a DBA in the first place? When starting a business, an entrepreneur is required to choose a business name. Now, let's go ahead and assume that that entrepreneur decides to start a sole proprietorship. If you don't know what a sole proprietorship is the most easiest business entity to start. It's the most informal. Assuming this entrepreneur decides to start a sole proprietorship, this entrepreneur's name is Bob Smith. When Bob Smith starts a sole proprietorship, Bob Smith will be required to choose a business name. Now, the default business name for sole proprietorships is the first and last name of the individual. This is where the DBA comes into play. If the entrepreneur does not want to use their first and last name as their business name, they'll look to applying for a DBA. In Bob Smith's case, Bob Smith does not want his first name and his last name to be his business name. He wants his business name to be called Revolutionary. In that event, Bob Smith will consider applying for a DBA so he can name his business Revolutionary. This means that without the DBA, Bob Smith would be required to use his first and last name as his business name. Now, for a lot of entrepreneurs out there, they don't want their first name or their last name to be their business name. And so for those entrepreneurs, they're going to want to consider applying for a DBA. By applying for a DBA, an entrepreneur will be able to choose a more preferable name. Now, in order to apply for a DBA, that entrepreneur is going to need to apply for that DBA in the county where their business will be located, where the principal place of business will be. That is where the individual entrepreneur is going to want to apply for the DBA, specifically in that county. So if Bob Smith lives in Los Angeles, Bob Smith is going to want to go to the Los Angeles County to apply for the DBA so he can name his business Revolutionary. As a sole proprietorship, if an individual does not want to use their first and last name as their business name, that entrepreneur is going to want to consider applying for a DBA in the county where they will be conducting business. If you happen to have any questions about anything that I talked about in today's video with respect to DBAs, make sure you click the link below to book your free call with a professional who can help you better understand how DBAs work. If you happen to enjoy this video, please make sure you hit like, subscribe, as well as the bell notification so you don't miss out on any future videos. It's time to invest in yourself. It's time to rise.